Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4 with another team adventure. This time we're going racing with some B-class cars. However, well, they're all Mazdas. Yes, we've got an adventure filled with Mazdas, from MX-5s, RX-7s, and I thought someone was in an RX-8. Apparently nobody's gone for one. We're on Team MX-5 against mostly Team RX-7. Don't really know. In B-Class, you don't have the craziest amount of options to choose from with your Mazdas in terms of what you can do with them. Most of the vehicles, with the exception of the Mark 1 MX-5, start off in B-Class or the very, very high C-Class. So, yeah, you are a smidge limited in terms of upgrades and how you're going to build the cars. Honestly, I'd be surprised if many vehicles, if at all any, were on rally tyres, with the exception of the first-gen MX-5. You might not even have the PI to fit them, or certainly if you did, you'd have no other upgrades to go with. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see a little bit on this one. I don't really want to be on this crazy tight line, however, I don't really have many other options, so we're going to be down there. I've got street tyres on my vehicle at 230 horsepower going on, so it's not a crazy power build. It's also, you know, I wanted some power in the car. We didn't want to go for too little in the way of power. Oh, that's a wall. That's a really bad time. Things have gone wrong up ahead for one of the MX-5s as well. Yeah, didn't want to hit that wall in that manner particularly. I guess the only good thing is that we at least slowed down one of our opposition cars rather than a friendly vehicle, at least. That's something. We're going to move up into a 5th position down here. Oh, that's a brave dive to the inside. I thought we got that one covered, but not quite. We're still there. We're still alongside. In the end, I don't think Chris wanted to go side by side through turn 1. It's so easy to miss checkpoints. It's so easy to end up in trouble at turn 1 here. Sometimes the better idea is to just say, you know what, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to sit and wait a little bit. Wait till the next corner to have a go. I didn't want to take out the fence. You lose a lot of momentum hitting that fence, especially in a small, lightweight car such as this. It's not the lightest car I've ever driven around this circuit, but still, it's pretty light, and the railing is annoying. Yeah, it'll cause you all sorts of grief. We're going to better run up the hill. We're going to move up into a 4th position. By the looks of it, it's 3 RX-7s leading the way. I am the highest placed MX-5, and I found a wall to go and give a little bit of a bump. I'm having a terrible race at the moment. Points-wise, it's all fallen apart for us. We did lead at one stage, but it has now gone wrong. I mean, if me and Glitter can actually start catching and passing the leader, and well, I think Glitter's about to go take 2nd place away, indeed. Glitter moves up to 2nd. I mean, if we can... We'd have to get a 1-2, though, with the points deficit we have going on at the moment. We just can't... We can't afford to be having 11th and 12th. It's just difficult to overcome that. I don't know how close the point gaps are further back. We're going to get big understeer through here, but that's fine. It's going to be tantalizingly close to us being able to do something here, I think. Eccentric does not have the speed to pull away at all up at the front. Can we get an MX-5 onto the podium? I think we've got the pace to do it. We've just got to get these next couple of corners right. We may be able to have a fire up the inside. Possibly not here. We may even be around the outside of this next corner. Oh, not quite. The RX-7 is in the right place. It's fair enough. It was an ambitious move around the outside for me. Wasn't quite gonna pan out. We matched the RX-7 for straight line speed. Do we have a big dive at the final corner? We can draw alongside. Space is left, and we're slow on the exit of it. Again, worth a go. However, nothing quite came of it. We are down to 2 laps remaining. I mean, our little fight with the RX-7 has almost spurred that car on to catch back up to Gliska here. All 4 of us are actually not all that dissimilarly matched, despite all being built differently. I mean, the RX-7 ahead of me is a wide body kit and aero. Gliska's hasn't. There's a much more modern RX-7 at the front, and I'm in an MX-5. So, yeah, all of these cars are different and differently built. In one way or another, we get that good run up the hill again here. We are the long way round for this next double corner. We're going to have to leave some space for the car on the inside, and it's fair enough. There's a tiniest little bit of nudges, but nothing too bad. We are going to have a dive here, though. We are going to have a crack at the inside. We might finally get this move done around here. The RX-7 wants to do a cutback, I think, on the exit. Almost gets it, not quite. We move up to 3rd place. It's not going to be enough points. It's not going to be enough, though. Oh, here comes the RX-7 again, actually. It's going to have a dive. at the final turn. It does, very similar to the move I tried last lap around. I think it might go a similar way for the car on the inside. It's not quite enough for that RX-7. We are going to be side by side through turn 1 and 2, and I'm going to have to go back into line because I don't want to be missing that checkpoint. A different sort of corner and I would have stuck it out, but I don't want to miss the checkpoint. I'll lose the place because there might be a chance later around the lap, like here for example, to find a way back past again. We're going to be on a really wonky line if we stay down here, but I think this is the corner we're good at. Oh, we're up on the grass. We're not going to yield, though. We are not going to yield for that, and we are now ahead of the RX-7. I feel like we have one of the fastest cars around this track. I feel like the battles cost us here. The battles cost us with Venomous. Did a very good job of defending in that. Yeah, I think we have got a really good car around this track. I'm pleased with how my MX-5 is going. Just ran out of time to do anything about getting further up the field. We can see the gap in the end. I think Venomous may have got a bit wide in one corner trying to fight back and lost a bit more space to me. However, this is how it is going to finish. What a glorious race with the Mazdas this was. 3 different cars in the top 3. 2 RX-7s. My MX-5 will be the highest placed of the MX-5 as a third. Not quite enough points, but a glorious, glorious, wonderful race. That much is for sure. So, up next we head to the Broadway Village Scramble. Yes, so we're going to be going with a little bit of off-roading in this one. And I say a little bit. This is a curious track. Oh, I'm all the way at the back. I can't catch a break with these races. We're all the way at the back. There is a very long main straight, but there is also this nasty dirt section at the back. As I said, rally tyres are unlikely on many of these vehicles. I don't know if anyone has got rally tyres on their cars. Possibly one. I wouldn't expect many. So we are all going to be in a similar boat as far as off-road grip goes. We just have to wait and see if anything's got crazy straight line speed. You might try. Someone might have gone for crazy power. Again, it's difficult when you are limited in terms of PS. Part of the reason why I picked this. Not only do I very much like Mazdas myself, but also, yeah, this is a bit of a tough one to build cars for. In as far as you don't get too many options. I believe the one first gen MX-5 we have, I mean, we can see it up ahead. Wide body kit obviously isn't a crazy powerful one. Has got a little bit more in the way of grip. We are busy fighting 2 and 3 wide on the dirt. Probably not the best. Does anybody have rally tyres of any sort? We have 4 wide. I'm going to yield because I don't want to actually miss a checkpoint. I'd rather fall back a couple of places than miss a checkpoint. We got a little bit of a assistance bump through there from an RX-7. I think, well, to be fair, the RX-7 may have got an assistance bump from somebody. I don't actually know. We didn't really see what was going on. We're going to have a really big old group of cars as we head up towards this, what is the final corner on this particular track. Oh, it's a very long run down towards turn 1 here, and I mess up on the exit massively. We've got a wide-body RX-7 up there. We've got the RX-7 that won the first race. How do I fare? I should be half decent in terms of straight line speed. I think we're all actually quite evenly. Actually, I don't think anyone's really crazy fast in terms of straight line. Oh, Centric can't pull it up in time. Neither can Jaguar over there. There's a couple of cars wandering a little bit wide. We get a really good run on the exit here. We're going to try and split the blue team RX-7s. There's nowhere to go for me, unfortunately. We're just going to have to sit and wait. We're going to hope that they drift wide through here and we can sneak underneath. It's 3 wide again through this section. Did we not learn last time? Apparently not. I did get that checkpoint somehow. I'm not 100% sure how. I thought I'd missed it myself. But we should probably play it a little bit more carefully on the next one. Can I duck underneath Eccentric's car? No. The transition there's always interesting. Really easy to spin the wheels and get yourself in trouble. Thankfully, we've got away with it so far. Up at the front of the race, I mean, there's a big old battle going on for the top 3 positions. Whether I have a vehicle capable of fighting in that, I don't actually know. Eccentric ran deep through there, and we could have a sneaky dive up the inside. It looks like Genji might be the quickest car at a straight line. We saw that be quite quick at Edinburgh, but it ended up in the wall and didn't have a chance to recover. The points are close, but we just don't have... I mean, if I'd started further up the order, if I could have maybe been in that fight, if I have a vehicle fast enough to compete, which I don't know if I do or not. You know, maybe... Oh, we got Cart. Actually, Cart got caught on the curb there. Just wouldn't come off of it. That's not what I needed. You know, having further up, that would have screwed us regardless. That is not what I needed at all. I just sat on top of the car. I never had that one happen before. I just couldn't get it off. And once it's sort of sat there bouncing around and just being pulled along on the curb, not much I can do. It's kind of like that curve at the Bamburgh Coast Circuit at turn 3 Only that one, I mean, that one there, you hit and you spin or you go on two wheels and get fired wide. That one just kind of grabs the car and just drags you around. Oh, underneath the falling lamppost. just about. We make that one. Not that it really makes any difference, but we just about do. Now, if Gliska wins the race and I can go ahead of Eccentric, we would actually win on points. We would win by 50 points here. But we have to. Gliska has to win the race, and I don't know if Gliska can get far enough away from Genji to be leading across the line. And again, this relies on me beating Eccentric, who is a little faster than me down the straights. Can we have a big dive at turn 1? Maybe we can. Yeah, we could have done. It was a half attempt from me. I will be honest, a half-assed attempt. I wasn't quite sure where to go on the brakes, and I maybe braked a little early to be safe. It was a half-assed attempt. There's a really big fight over 4th. The problem is I've actually messed that corner up drastically. Yeah, the problem is if Eccentric gets past any of these cars, even if I get past all of them, it won't be enough for us for points. We cannot let Eccentric through, but also I can't really do much here other than, well, we're going to try and capitalise when there is a gap, but Red Team, we've really got to not screw ourselves in this battle. It looks like Genji and Gliska may have fallen back in their fight over the lead of the race. It's now become their fight for second place. We are around this final corner. I'm really liking this MX-5, actually, I've got to say. It's just fun, you know, it's one of those cars, it's just good to drive. It's just a really good, solid race car. It's got good straight line speed, good handling, good brakes. I mean, you expect an MX-5, sort of B-class MX-5, to be good at the end of the day. We've got one more lap to try and cling on to a 6th position. Any hope of us winning does rely on this, but I don't think we're going to get the points further up that we need. We may be able to try and sneak some positions off of our teammates here. We don't really want to let the RX-7 pass behind us. We might not have it. I think we might have a choice. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to find a way past, although they've both done exactly. Guys, you did this last time. You did this last time to one another, and Eccentric tried that inside line, didn't quite work. I thought I'd upshifted and I hadn't, which kind of screwed us a smidge here. Can I duck underneath? Can I get both of them on the exit by the church? We can. Eccentric wants to buy into this as well. Isn't quite going to make it work back there. We were up to 4th very briefly. Jaguar's gone to the outside. He's going to run out of space to make that work. We're going to do the crisscross underneath that RX-7. We give it space on the outside. There is still space for it. It bobbles the curve a smidge. We're going to get pushed by Jaguar towards the finish line. That MX-5 has got a lot of straight line speed over the corners. It may even get me in the battle here. It does. What a race. What a glorious race that one was. We got screwed on the finish line position again because we were ahead of the RX-7 for across the finish line. Not that it matters. The grand scheme of things, our fight was irrelevant. We didn't score any more points in our little inter-team battle. We all stayed ahead of Eccentric. However, we couldn't score enough points elsewhere to take the adventure. Another excellent fun race, though. Up next, we head to the Greendale Club Circuit, and we need a win. Undoubtedly. Game. Game. We've got a lot of work to be doing once more back here. This probably won't be the best circuit for my car, if I'm honest. We seem to be a bit more of a handling car. We're not crazy outmatched down the straights. We are a little bit more of a handling car. This track, yeah, there is a long start-finish straight. However, you need to be fairly grippy through the technical sections. You win here. We talked about this every time I come to this track. We talk about this, but if you have an outright straight line speed car, you can't win here because you'll be way too slow around the corners. If you have an outright handling car, you won't win because you'll be way too slow down the straights. Or you'll get buried in the pack with faster cars and not be able to go quick around the corners, all that sort of thing. You need a car that is either very quick down the straights and just about good enough in the corners not to lose too much time, or you need a car that is very good in the corners but still just about fast enough down the straights to not lose too much time there. I mean, admittedly, you kind of need that everywhere, but this track, yeah, you do need a good kind of overall vehicle to make it work. Can we do anything about making some progress? We've not had a terrible start to this race. I'm hoping we can get underneath Chris. We might even get the RX-7 as well here, which we do. That will promote me up into a 6th position with a slidey MX-5 ahead of us. Now, we know both the grey MX-5s are very quick down the straights here. We've seen both of them be very, very fast. Off they shoot into the distance. We came from 11th to 6th on the first lap, and this is with a more handling-based car rather than brute force machine, so That is something. One of the cars out there is very, very wide. The RX-7 was also quite wide. We're going to get to the door of that one and try and move ourselves up a position. Unfortunately, it's going to pass one of our teammate cars as well. There is a little bit of bumping along the way. We are going to fire our vehicle up the inside. Unfortunately, we can't make it stick, and we get repassed by the pair of them. Now, this is the danger bit for me here. Okay, we can have a very, very quick car at this track. We can have a very, very quick car indeed at this track, but if we get stuck battling slow vehicles, we just lose so much time. Like, if I get left alone, I reckon we could maybe even challenge Liska. However, we've got to be left alone for long enough to even contemplate being able to do that one, which, I don't know, we might now have the time. So, points are still not going our way. God damn it. We need some more points. I really need to be getting second here. Our teammate is going to come flying past. I mean, we need to be getting second. We need our teammate on the podium as well here, preferably. Our teammate car that is really struggling for grip in these corners. The RX-7 is much more similarly matched to me. I outturn it, but it outdrags me. However, overall, we kind of works. Thankfully, blue team are doing a little bit of friendly fire up ahead. That helps me out massively. That's it. Slow each other down. You have a big old squabble over that second spot, and you might just give me enough time to throw a really sneaky maneuver up the inside. There was I don't think the RX-7 knew I was there, however, it was so busy fighting its own teammate, it didn't realise there was going to be a sneaky MX-5 chuck it up the inside, and we do take the position. Now, we know in this race, even second's not enough for us. We need to get some more points. We know in this race that car is going to come shooting back past us when we get on a straight. So we have to be far enough away that it can't retake us by the start-finish line. That's going to be the trick here. We've got to be monumentally quick through these corners, which we can be. We have the car to do it. We just can't afford to get slowed down. If we get slowed down through the turns and we can't get past it quickly, we are going to be in trouble. Here we go. You can see the speed, the momentum we can carry through that corner, but this is where it's going to start hurting us, because I can't now throw my car through here with quite as much speed as I want to. I can't dive up the inside. We can just sweep around the outside here, though. Okay. We've overtaken it earlier, perhaps, than we have done on previous laps. We're not going to be held up around this kind of final corner area. Are we far enough away? I don't think we are. I don't think we're far enough away to beat it to the line. Oh, maybe we are, you know. Oh, it's going to be a really interesting final lap. So that's where we have to have overtaken by. If we get the pass in the same place next lap, we're golden. However, it has to be done. Oh, there's been a problem. There's been a problem for the grey MX-5. Unfortunately, it's going to force me around the outside at turn 1, which is not what we needed. Now that's compromised us as well. Bugger. I say we were forced around the outside. We couldn't really go to the inside. There was a car in the way, which is fair enough. You know, that's racing. That's how it works sometimes. Again, we've got to check up here. We are now alongside, heading towards this downhill section. We know what we have to do here. There is no doubt about it. We have to get the pass on this corner. This time we go to the inside. I mean, we got pushed to the inside wall through there, which I'm not particularly best pleased about. There was definitely a gap for us to put our car alongside, and we just got turned into and pushed into the cobblestone wall. I don't think we're going to... We might not be... Oh, no, I think we are far enough away, actually. They made a mistake through the next part. So, that's fine. We will take second. It's not enough for our team. I would have been interested to see how my car would have fared against the RX-7, I'll be honest. Could have been quite an interesting battle. I think my car had that good combination of... just good enough straight line speed and very good through those corners. Sadly, when you start down the back, it's always a tall order. We'll take a second place. Not enough for a red team victory, though. Blue are going to win overall. Still having a lot of fun, though. So, we head off-road for round number 4. Tarnhow's Scramble. I don't know what we're going to see here. Really, very, very different to our previous dirt circuit. Very different to a lot of the other circuits run on this. If anybody has got full rally tyres on their car, this would be the time to enjoy them. As I said, I don't think many of us do. I don't think anybody would have probably... There was no rules about all-wheel drive swapping, but I don't think anybody has. Again, you're so PI limited that it's just not worth it here. I have a good grid spot. Small and light might not be the... I say everything's pretty small and light, though, in this. There's not really... There's not really any other options here other than small. Like maybe the MX-5 Mark 1 with the very, very big tyres. That would be a nice thing to have, that's for sure. Those super wide tyres, could not complain about them. It's possible that RX-7 up there might be on rally tyres, so that's actually buggered off up ahead of us. Oh, we're going to be stuck on the outside of everything and carted wide. That's a little bit unfortunate for us. I mean, it might not be on rally tyres, it might just be on, I don't know, better compound tyres for off-roading. I can't remember which way around it is. Stock tyres are better than sport or something along those lines. I'm trying not to push my teammate, but I'm really sorry, teammate. I got pushed all the way through that corner, and basically I either came to a halt or we got pushed into you. We're going to get pushed wide towards the ditch on the outside. This race has not gone well for me. I'm not sure my vehicle is really enjoying the dirt around here. I say that's fine. Sometimes that is the way that it goes with the cars. Some vehicles just do not enjoy being on dirt, despite the fact they can be quite similarly built. It just doesn't work. Might be a bit too small, a bit too light, a bit too tiny a rear tyres for me. Is another thing that probably won't be helping. We can throw our car though up the inside. We actually get a really good line through there, which is something to put us up into 5th. We're not going to score enough points here. Unfortunately, it's one of those. It's just not going our way. The races where we could have, races where our cars were good enough to be standing a chance. Something else has gone wrong for other members of the team or whatever. I mean, we've been battered through every single corner almost so far here. We're going to now try and get around the hairpin nicely. We are rather blocking Gliska. I say we're not even intentionally blocking Gliska, we're just ending up in front of that car at some inconvenient points. You know what? I'm going to let it go. Go on. Go. I mean, I'm expecting you to outrun me up the hill. Possibly. I was going for just... Right, you go. You go. If you've got more speed than me, I'll happily sit and follow, and then we can focus on attacking the group ahead of us, rather than attacking one another and screwing ourselves over out of some positions. I don't know where that glitchy, laggy car is going to reappear, but we're going to reappear somewhere in all of this. We're wide into turn 1. Not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you avoid it with the bumps. And we can kind of pick and choose our line on the exit. Not quite good enough, though, from me. We're, again, bobbling it around a smidge. The other MX-5 going for some questionable lines. Some more contact made up ahead of us. It's been quite a manic race. Funnily enough, who would have thought it? A bunch of sports cars not really on suitable tyres, sliding around on the dirt, does create quite a manic time. The leader's car is either rally tyres or... I imagine it almost must be rally tyres at this point to be that far ahead. It is a wide body kit version of the RX-7, I believe, and they'll get some big tyres, which will also help matters. But yeah, I would imagine that may well be a rally-tyred vehicle shooting off into this. And, the car in second may also be on rally tyres. I'm just watching how well it turned. It could be a rally-tyred thing. Oh, that's going to slide through. That's not going to make the turn. I will take that position away from you. Thank you very much. Blue team, we've had an abysmal round for red team. We've got loads of cars not working. Admittedly, one of our RX-7s, I think, missed a checkpoint. That's why it pulled over on the straight or something like that. Or we have actually had a couple of times where someone's actually accidentally hit rewind in the online races. It can happen, just occasionally. Yeah, not ideal. Either way, it vanished. I'm presuming a missed checkpoint, but we never know fully. Let's try and be at least a bit neat and tidy through there. We've got to be far enough away. That thing's going to be quick up the tarmac section. It's just not quick enough around here. Unfortunately for us, it was a manic start to the race. It doesn't look like it's going to be a little bit calmer end. I can't quite catch the cars ahead of us. Yeah, we're far enough away. We're not going to get past from behind. Oh, Eccentric's got over. I've done that there. You know, do not fear. You're not the only one who has fallen foul. It's the outside. There's a ditch. There's an outside ditch that you put the wheels in at just the wrong angle. It can launch the car over. I seem to remember I managed to commentators curse myself at one point talking about it and immediately fell over the next time I approached it. It's a nasty section. This track, rolling is always possible at Tarnhouse. The leader could roll here and they'd still have more than enough time to be reset and carry on. That's how big their lead is. Yeah, Tarnhouse, two notoriously dangerous places for rolling. That corner we saw a vehicle tumble over on. That's a bit weird though on the outside ditch. Also on the inside through here there's a bump somewhere that can ping cars over. Most prominently in the wet, but it can do it in the dry, can do it whenever if you hit it just wrong. There's one There's one red car going to go a lap down. That's obviously having a really bad time. Could have been some missed checkpoints. Could have just been a car not working. Sometimes, let's say sometimes it's just really not working. It does look like it's struggling for some traction. That's the Mark 1 MX-5. Obviously something with that much more tarmac built. It stays well out of the way. Always appreciated that one. Well, we had a very, very busy start to the race. It got a little bit calmer towards the end. An RX-7, I've made a horrible hash of that final corner. The RX-7 fell over, gifted us a 4th place. Not the track for my car. Fair enough, my car was never intended for that sort of racing. You know, at the end of the day, 400 points is good. Sadly, the rest of our team just didn't work out there. So, for our final race, I'm hoping my MX-5 can come good. I say it's come good. It has been a really, really nice car. I actually really enjoyed it. It's not going to win yet, but the Broadway Village circuit might be the place. We've got a nice spot on the grid here for us, which is always good. We've even got Cass come and say hello, haven't you? You've come to meow at me and want attention. So we've got the good luck cat. We've got a half-decent spot on the grid. If this is going to work, this might be the place. Might be the place for the MX-5. It's not a terrible start from us either, so let's see what we can do. If we can get to the lead and run away. A little bit worried about Genji's car. We know it's got a lot more straight line speed than I do. We've already beaten it around the corners. And if we can get past it while we're all in ghost mode and flee early on, that would be very, very helpful. And indeed, we are ahead. Okay, MX-5. Let's run away from the rest of the field, build the gap, let them all fight one another. I mean, is it going to be the most exciting race for the video? I mean, look, I like winning races. I like being involved in battles. Ooh, that's quite late on the brakes down there. That's not, as far as the building the gap part goes, that's not what I wanted to do. Because this next section is where we are weaker. It's a long climb up the hill here. That may have a dive. I don't think it's going to. It doesn't really need to bother. The reason why is you can have a dive at the final corner, but it actually slows itself down. And if it does that, well, it's going to be further away by turn 1, which is where it's going to get the pass done. It's going to get the pass done before we get to the first corner. Now, it might do this, and we're going to just immediately... Oh, we're going to immediately fire back up the inside. We hit the inside curve, and it just launches my car sideways in front of it. I don't think it was expecting there to be a car have a dive at the inside. It just turned into me as we were in the braking zone. It is right behind me, and it will match me through this section a little bit. It can't take the speed through here. This is the section where it can't carry the speed. It won't be able to carry that kind of pace through there, or be anywhere near as quick through this. That's the line I need. Yeah, you can see the gap that we build. As far as points-wise, it is starting to go our way a little bit more here. Possibly, just a smidge more. Right, we're kind of... Well, I mean, we're out of the... not out of the worst of it, but we are going to be ahead, and we will lead across the line. This is the bit that matters at the end of the day. We've got to make sure that we are leading across the line. There it goes, up the inside. Oh, I went to go across to have a dive. It didn't quite pay off in the end of that one. We're going to try and squeeze around the outside. Doesn't work. We're not going to get around the outside here. Oh, we might... No, not quite. So this is bad news for us. We have to get the pass. We have to get the repass done almost immediately if we were gonna do it. And I didn't time it right. I should have maybe just committed to going to the outside. That might have been a better idea rather than trying that sort of shot to the inside that I went for, because I just mistimed it. I think I might have lost it. I think I might have lost it. I think I might have just lost it to... I mean, just a raw speed around here. Unless there's a mistake, I see it's going to be difficult. Unless there's a mistake, I can see this being a big, tough time for us. We're not... I mean, the points-wise aren't going to go our way, sadly. We just don't quite have enough pace to really make it work. Annoyingly, it's like there's always a car that's a little bit better at one of these. Like, we've got possibly the best car overall in that it works absolutely everywhere really well, but it's never quite the very fastest car in the bunch. There's always, if it's a fast track, we get beaten by somebody with a handling, well, maybe a real pure handling circuit where we're not stuck in traffic the whole way. I think we could probably do very, very well at. See, we can get alongside here, and we can maybe just force it to be a little slow on the run up the hill but it's still ultimately just going to go soaring past us again, and then it can defend, which has more than their right to do. We're going to try and look around the outside. We were closer than we were last lap around, which is something, but we've only got one more lap to make something happen here. Can we do anything? Turn 1, of course not a chance, we're a million miles back. We're going to close, but we're going to have to be absolutely spot on. We are 100% spot on through turn 1. Saw the brush on the wall. There's a big slide from the car. It leaves a gap. There is no contact as we fire our vehicle past. We will take the lead of the race, but let's not forget, there is a long run up a hill. There is a long run up a hill, and, well, a fairly sizable run to the finish line that we've got to contend with. So they don't really need to take a dive. Oh, I didn't need that oversteer, although we are further away than I thought we were going to be. Will they have a throw at the final corner? Maybe, but I think it's too far back. I mean, they could put it there, but it'd never get stopped in time if they did. Now it's just going to be the drag race to the line. Have we done enough? It's going to be really close. That car is coming with an awful lot of speed. It's not going to be enough, though. Ooh, the game failed to give us it, so we ignore what the game says. We did claim victory. We beat the 13 MX-5 just about. It got a big slide through turn 2 is what did it. They just slid their way through the second corner. We put our nose on the inside and we would overtake it. The game screwed us with the run to the finish line, which we do ignore. We basically got third with that RX-7. I think mine and the RX-7, I mean, because we're pretty evenly matched in terms of pace, in terms of lap speed and all of that. I really like that car. As a B-class all-round, works everywhere, is an amazing amount of fun to drive. I do quite like it. It might be 5-0 to blue team. As far as the team aspect of this went, it didn't go to plan for us. However, I really like my MX-5. We had a lot of fun. We had an awful lot of fun. Well, there we go. That is going to be it for this video. If you'd like to take part in the next one of these, you can via our forums. There's a link in the description. Find the FailRace versus the community section, and you can sign up in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.